All right, we begin in Japan, where we are just 3 days away from the start of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. Concerns over the coronavirus still remain as the date approaches. Our reporter Adam Hunt is joining us from Tokyo for the situation on the ground. Adam, hello there. Well, more athletes and team members are testing positive. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, the positive cases within the Games bubble have continued to rise over the last 24 hours. 67 is the official number since the records began on July the 1st. The big news yesterday was that several members of Team USA, which is one of the largest teams competing here at the Olympics, have either tested positive or been affected by positive COVID cases. Katie Lou Samuelson, who's a key member of the 3x3 women's basketball team, she's been forced to stay behind in the USA because she's tested positive for COVID-19 and is now out of competing at the Games, and they are a gold medal hope, Team USA. She said, "I'm devastated to share that after getting sick with COVID-19, I will not be able to go and compete in Tokyo. I'm especially heartbroken as I'm fully vaccinated and took every precaution, but I know everything will work out the way it's supposed to." Another basketball player, this time on the men's side, Chicago Bulls star Zach LaVine. He didn't test positive, but he's been identified as a contact case back home in the USA, so he hasn't traveled with the rest of the team. He'll be hoping to join up with them over the next few days. Also, the 18-year-old gymnast Kara Ika, she tested positive on arrival here in Tokyo on Sunday and tested positive again on Monday. She's been moved to a quarantine hotel to isolate for the next 10 days and will be unable to compete. So those are the issues concerning the athletes, but also plenty of issues, I suppose, away from the field, you would describe them, here in Tokyo as well. One of the major sponsors of the Games, Toyota, who have a $1 billion contract until 2024 with the Olympics, they've announced that they're not going to be running any Games-related television adverts for the duration of this year's Olympics in Tokyo, and that also their CEO will not be attending the opening ceremony in this stadium here behind me on Friday. So a whole cauldron of issues that are rather contentious issues in the lead up to the Games.
Indeed, it is a pity for those athletes who had to draw out because of the infections. But Tokyo reported under 1,000 new cases for the first time in almost a week. What are health experts and also Olympic officials saying about that?
Well, Games organisers are staying relatively defiant in the wake of all that criticism. We heard from the IOC president, Thomas Bach, a couple of days ago. He says the Games will be safe. They're the strictest sporting event in terms of COVID protocols in the whole world. But that is in contrast to the view of Japanese medical officials and the Japanese population here in Tokyo, because the cases are still at quite a high number, around 1,000, you said, per day, but high, consider where you were at least even a month ago here in Japan. And I think any evidence that starts to filter through of those cases moving from the Olympic bubble, the teams, the athletes, the coaches, those involved with the Olympics, to the wider population, I think that's going to add to the pressure and add to the criticism for the Games over the next couple of days.
All right, thank you very much indeed, Adam Hunt, joining us from Tokyo.